Okay, so let's get things started here. Good morning, everyone. I hope that your week is going well. My week is going good. Sanchit, Toronto is going stage 3, and you are looking forward to roaming around. If yes, don't. Okay, you can go around as long as you are keeping your distance. I've said I've been enjoying time with some friends, keeping our distance. But yeah, come on, it's better than what it was, you know, 1 month within the pandemic, in the cold, you know, it's way better now. Come on, we have to admit that. So let's be positive here. Today, there is a big announcement from the education ministry. But it's talking about mid school and high school. But there is a big announcement today coming along. Got a question for you. Who takes cold showers in the morning? Anyone takes cold shower in the morning? Is there any hero of mine that takes cold showers in the morning? Okay, so why am I saying that? Because I've always heard about the benefits of cold showers. And about a week ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try. And for the past week and a half, I've been taking cold showers only. Let me tell you, the shock, you know the shock, when you are in a cold shower. But afterwards, you feel good, because your body heats up. So the aftermatch of a cold shower as compared to a hot shower seems to be good. And the other thing that a cold shower gives me, it gives me this feeling that I can do anything. If I can face a cold shower in the morning as the first thing in the day, I can do anything in my day. Okay, Sanchit? Okay, great. So you're not talking about cold shower, that's fine. That's just my ramble. So I'm done with my cold shower here. If anyone has any comments about cold shower, but again, you may not want to do this every day, but try one day. Try a cold shower one day. You're gonna see that it's different. Afterwards, first contact, a bit tough, but afterwards, it's awesome. Anyway, Sanchit, will the course become offline now because we have mail deforestation that would be online? Any ideas? I'm quite sure that it's gonna be online for the fall. I'm quite sure it's gonna be online. I am quite sure. Maybe not exactly the same way as we have been doing right now. And here's the caveat. I'm saying maybe. I don't have any official word on that. I'm just saying maybe. Well, one, most likely it's gonna be online. But two, most likely it will be slightly different from what we have nowadays. Nowadays, we just transferred what we had 4 hours in class. We moved for 4 hours 4 hours synchronous, which means that we are here at the same time. Most likely going forward, there will be a mix of synchronous. You're gonna have time like we have today with me, with the instructor, but you may also have asynchronous time, which means that there will be formal content that you have to go through on your own time, on your own schedule. So I think you're gonna end up having a mix of that, and that's a natural evolution on how we're gonna be dealing with online learning. So whatever comes, be ready for a potential online course again. Yes, I think that I think there must be more flexibility. You know, the first idea was, okay, let's convert the face-to-face to online, and everything became synchronous. But now that we are online, why not have more flexibility there? So that's most likely what will happen. Okay. Yes, in your own pace. However, even though it's in your own pace, but there will be deadlines, schedules, deliverables, weekly content being released. So it's not completely a free for all. There will be structure into that. Okay. Christine, which subject I will be teaching next semester? It's not gonna be useful for any of you guys because I will stick around with Comp 100, Comp 123, and Comp 229. So unless you want to go backwards in your courses, otherwise, most likely, this might be our last class together. But hey, I'll be following your journeys on email, on LinkedIn. I would love you to post your progress on LinkedIn. I'll be checking you out. Befriend me on LinkedIn and I will be seeing your posts, your news, your updates. And I want to see that post that says, I got my first job in the field. I want to see that. I want to congratulate you when I see that first post like that. Okay? I really want. Okay. Okay. People with errors. We might be able to have a look at them today, but no, we will not have exercise time today. So if you have a problem with your code, send me an email. Send me your code via Slack. Again, I cannot tell you this enough. Send me your code via Slack. Right now, I cannot pause to deal with errors 101 right now, but I'm gonna save 10 minutes today to talk about the project, okay? I'm hoping that you had a chance to look at the project. We're gonna save 10 minutes at the end of our first hour to have a look at to talk about the project, okay? Thank you, Prablin. You are, let me tell you this, we are all one of a kind. Whether we know or not, we are all one of a kind. No, there's nobody else out there that has the same mix of each one of us. No, that's the truth. Thank you, Sanchit. Again, I really appreciate the kind words. They mean a lot. They truly mean. That's why I try to do my best is to serve you all the best possible way. Okay? Awesome. Thanks so much. Okay. Enough with that. I'm starting to blush. So let's move on, please. Can we get things going, please? Can we move on? Okay. So what is it that we're gonna be talking about today? Well, today we have 3 things to take care of. We're gonna finish connecting with the last content from last week. We're gonna finish that. Okay. We're gonna save a little bit of time to talk about the project. I'm hoping that you had a chance to have a look at the project and you have questions so I can help the entire group. And then the second half of the day, we're going to be talking about the new topic. The new topic is deployment. We're going to be deploying our applications live. Okay? That's the next one. So a few things to talk about today. And talking about less class, how about you tell me in general okay, so I'm gonna mention this private messages. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of the conversation of the presentation, if it's not about something that is in the presentation, it's hard for me to stop and look at the private message and address that right away, because it doesn't align with the current topic right now. So if you have private messages that are not aligned right away with the course content at this point, you may want to hold that off a little bit later when I open the floor for questions in general, okay? So again, what I'm just saying is that if you have a question, hold your question there. I'm going to open the floor a little bit later for questions in general, okay? Even if it's outside of the context right now, but that's fine. I'll open that later. In any case, I want to start by asking you, in 1 or 2 words, what was the topic that we left last week? What was the topic? Who remembers the topic of last week? Just in 1 or 2 words. I'm not asking you for writing a paragraph, a dissertation. Just give me 1 or 2 words about the last topic. What was that? Security. That's the word, security. We covered last week how we can lock down an action or an entire controller, okay? And we stopped more precisely when we were logging. We were allowing the user to log in to the application with password and username, okay? So today we're gonna reconnect with that. I'm going to open the code that we had before. So give me 1 second. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's a good question here. What we need to do for project proposal. I'm gonna address that a little bit later today, but I will address that, okay? Okay, so very specifically, if you remember, we have created the account controller in the login view, okay? We have created this because if we run the application, and let's see if this runs. So if we run the application, if we go to a protected area like admin/index, we will be presented with a username and password. And then we are able to log in and see the final view that was protected, because now we have entered username and passwords. Now, one thing that I want to quickly mention here is that the source code that has been provided on Centennial, it's slightly different from the one that we put together. It's a little bit more advanced, and I just want to cover this a little bit. Look at this. Last class, we had username and password separately. We had in the controller, in the account controller, we had in our login. Do you remember which parameters we had in the login before last week? Which parameters were those? We had username and password. Yes, we have the name and password separately. However, what this version has provided is a way that you can aggregate both username and passwords within the same object. So instead of having them separately, we have created a new class called login model, and login model is just a name that was given. It could have been called login, it could have been called login class, whatever it is. It's just a name. It's just a name, and it is just a very simple class. If we have a look at models, view models, login model, look, it has a name and it has a password. And name is required, password is required. Remember, required annotation means that that property is, well, required. You have to fill it out. This is used to validate the login form. If we don't put the username, the name, and the password, you're gonna have a validation error there. Okay? So those two properties have been combined into one single object. Now, by having the login model class, I can say now that our login view has a model associated with it. You may ask, Edson, is it wrong to keep just login and password separately without having a model? No, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong here. However, this solution that you are seeing right now is more elegant. It's more in line with the MVC approach. We have a model linking now. Now we can use ASP4 because we have a model now that has a name property, that has a password property. We have a validation spam as well, in case there is an error and the user does not put the name or the password. There will be a validation message there. Okay? Siranjit, what is the return URL here? Okay, I don't really want to focus too much on that, Siranjit, but I can tell you this. Whenever, in systems in general, whenever you try to access a closed place, like /admin/index or /order/list, you get redirected to the login, and then the return URL will store where you came from, the URL that you came from, so that when you log in, you're gonna get automatically redirected to where you were going before. Because if you don't know where you are coming from, how can I send you back there once you log in? So that's what the return URL is. It's just storing where you came from so that when you log in, you can go back there. Okay? I don't want to go too much beyond this, but that's what it is. Okay, so, and then username and password, we have it here. In the controller, now we have the login model. And with the login model, we are able to get the name and get the password and validate them. Okay, so again, this is just builds a little bit more into what we have done last class, but I'm gonna ask you this. If you have a system that allows you to log in, what is one thing that you should be able to do when you log in anywhere? What should you be able to do? When you log in, you should be able to do what? To be able to get out of it, you should be able to log out. That's correct. Ashik, Sanshit. You should be able to log out. And there's no log out right now. If I close this browser right now, if I open again, I'll still be logged in. Okay? So I should have a way to log out. We're gonna place the logout right now. The logout, we're gonna place it right here. We're gonna have a logout button on the right hand side of our title here. Now, if I ask you, where is this title here? Where is it? Is that in the index view? Is that somewhere else? Is it somewhere else? I mean, if we have a look at the index view, let's have a look at the, where is it? The admin index. Look, we don't have the title there. So Siranjit is saying in the layout, that's correct. What is the layout of the admin part of the admin views? What is the layout of that? What is it? How is it called? Exactly, Samira. It's the admin layout. This is the guy. So we're gonna open admin layout and we're gonna add the logout here close to the title. Okay, so close to the title, not replacing the title, but close to it. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna use a mixture here, a mix of some CSS classes and some divs as well. So we're gonna create two divs, div1 title, div2, we're gonna put the logout. So I'm gonna do something like this, div, and then another div here, and I'm gonna use a little bit of styling to make this look right. Actually, let's do logout here, log out. Let's just see how this is looking like. I just changed the HTML, so I will be able to just refresh this view and it should show logout. See, what is happening is the first div is at the top, the second div is at the bottom. So I want them side by side. I don't want one on top of the other. So I'm gonna have to use a few classes here. In the containing div, in the outside div, I'm gonna say that this is a row. And in the internal ones, I'm gonna say class equals to call. And for the second one, I'm gonna say class equals to call to. Again, just a little bit of CSS. This is Bootstrap actually. Okay, I'm gonna refresh. And now you see the title in the left hand side, the logout option in the right hand side. Now, I need to convert this to a clickable link. Okay, this is not a post, this is a get. So for a get, not forget, don't forget. For a get, I just need to create a link tag, okay? So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna say a logout. Now, I'm gonna specify the what here. What do I need to set up here? What do I need to put? What do you think? Which tag helper? Which tag helper do I need to add here? SP action. Yes, so let's do the SP action. And there's no action created yet. However, let's just plan this. Okay, I'm gonna create a logout action. Okay, so let's say logout. And that's it for now. Let's see how this looks like. Okay, so it doesn't look like a button yet. It's a link. But let's just make it look a little bit more like a button. Let me just clear. Okay. Just want to get the classes because I don't remember the classes. It's quite a lot of classes that I have to put together. So I'm talking about the CSS classes. So here in the logout, I'm gonna say class equals to, and we have a few bootstrap here, btn, btn small, btn primary. Now with this, we should be able to refresh and have something a little bit more similar to a button. Yes, we have, you see? Looks like a button now. Great. However, of course, we don't have this action yet. Okay? So, where should I create this action? Where should I put it together? Where this action should go? Or more precisely, which controller should store this action? Which controller? Where should we implement this action here? Home or admin? Okay. Okay, any more suggestions there? From anyone else? Thanks, Sanjit. Admin, okay, Sanjit, okay. That's fine. Probably could be account also. Actually, in a way, it could be anywhere. But let's think about where would make most sense. Technically speaking, it can be in any one of those places that you have mentioned there. In the home, in the admin, in the account, could be anywhere. However, logically speaking, where do you think that should be most, well, logical to add it to. And I'm gonna ask you this. Where is the login? If I ask you, where is the login? Where is the login action? Which controller has the login action? That's okay. Sanchit, look, just look at the code. Let's just look at the code here. So the login action, look, the login action is in the account. The account controller has the login get in the login post. So I think that it would make more sense to have the logout in the same place as we have the login. They make their, related to each other. One allows you to enter the system, the other one allows you to exit the system. So let's put them all together. A lot of assignments. I get it, Sanjit. Lots of assignments, yes. But that's the reason why I'm walking you through this, okay? So let's put the logout here. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna say public. Public what? Well, we are using a logout link. It's not a post, so we could use a view result. However, when I log out, I'm gonna be redirected to where I was coming from, so it will be more of a redirect. I can say that I will be safe to say that this is an iAction result for now. I'm gonna say logout, and there will be no parameters here. And I'm just gonna call, to log in, I have called password sign in async from sign in manager. To log out, we're gonna use the sign in manager again. I'm gonna say sign in manager dot sign out async. Okay, there are no parameters here. This just signs me out. Okay, and then I'm gonna return. I'm gonna use a redirect here, and I'm gonna redirect the user to the home, to the root folder of the site. Okay, to the root location, to the root address of the site. I'm signing out. I need to get out of where I am. Okay, so this will work. However, better yet, because we are using an asynchronous method, we're going to be using an await keyword to make it perform better, to make the asynchronous part really work well. To do this, remember, await here, we have to use async in the method declaration. Not only that, but we also have to wrap our result with what? What is it that we need to modify iAction result here? What do we need to put here? Yes, Christine, Sanchit, Hansel, we need to put this around a task. Okay? As this is in asynchronous methods returning a type, we have to put it around a task. Okay? Represents an asynchronous operation that can return a value. Okay? And look, our logout is quite simple. That's it. That is it. Let's try to run it. Okay, let's go there. /admin/index. And there we have. Let's click logout. Oops, oops. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. What is the problem? Who can help me out here? What is the problem? What is the solution? Well, let's start by identifying the problem. What is it? What's happening? Look at the URL. Let's look at the URL and see the problem here. Sanjit, yes, it's not finding. It should be account, Sanjit, yes. So, right now, it's trying to find logouts inside the admin controller. Why is that? Why is trying to do that? Well, let me show you this. Right now, we are in this view. This view, what is the controller of this view? The controller here is admin. Here's admin. Logout, if you move the mouse over logout, look at this. Oops. I'm trying to use an arrow here. Look at this here. If I move the mouse over logout, look, it shows /admin/logout. The reason why it shows /admin is because right now we are within the admin controller. So yes, Philippe, we need to specify the controller for that link there. Yes, so right now, what we can do to clear this, to fix this, is we can go back to our view, to our admin layout view, and we need to add something here. Right now we just have ASP action. What else can I add to make this point to the right controller? Yes, Hansel, we have to point to ASP-controller equals to what? Then we're gonna say account. Now if I save this and if I refresh, let's look at the link. Look, the link down there, it says /account/logout. Let's try that. Now we got properly redirected and properly logged out. If we go back, we got redirected to the login. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, Sanjit, just a general doubt. What if we want to prompt the user a dialog box which confirms that the user wants to log out? Oh, well, then you would have to use something a little bit more elaborate, like jQuery confirmation or something like that, okay? Or even you could have a separate view, a confirmation view. Usually, because we only want the user input, we don't use another view. We can just put some jQuery there. Again, we're not going to be looking at that. This would be too much front-end stuff, and this course is really focused on the back-end infrastructure, on the back-end development, okay? But yes, we would do a little bit of jQuery, maybe one or two lines of jQuery would allow you to ask for confirmation, okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's look at this view. There's something here that I would say that doesn't belong. What doesn't belong here? What is a little bit off here that doesn't make sense here in this view? Anything here? Why, Ashik, that logout doesn't make sense here? Why is it? What's the problem with logout? Exactly. Exactly. We haven't logged in yet? How can we have logout here if we didn't log in yet? It doesn't make sense, okay? So how can we control that? Yes, probably we should first log in then we would be able to see logout, okay? So how can we address this? Well, we can address this by using a little bit of razor, here. So let's go back to our view. And here where I'm gonna create the login link, the logout link, sorry, I'm gonna test if the user is logged in. I can do this, look, at if user dot identity dot is authenticated. This is a boolean. It's gonna be true if I'm logged in. It's gonna be false if I'm logged out. If this is true, then I'm going to show the login link there, the logout link, okay? By doing this, let's go back, let's refresh this. Look, it's no longer there. If I click login, now it shows up. If I click logout and I go back, it's no longer there. So logout right now will only show if the user is authenticated. Otherwise, it won't show. Okay? Does it make sense? I hope it does. So this is it about this topic, you know. We saw how you can create a login, how you can lock down the application. Okay, let's have a look at here at the very end. Again, we saw how you can secure actions with the authorize, how you can secure controllers with authorize, how you can allow the user to log in, how you can allow the user to log out. This covers the basic of security. We're going to talk again about security next week, but now using a little bit more advanced features like roles. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how we can create a user CRUD actually. Okay, but that's next week. This week now we're going to be focused on deploying our application. As I said, I wanted to save the last 10 minutes of this part of our class today for a few things. Well, you can ask me questions about this topic. You can ask me questions about the project. If you have questions about the assignment, that's fine as well. Someone is asking, are we going to learn JWT for login? No, we're not going to be using JWT during our logins. Again, this is as far as we are working with logins, okay? Christine, what is the name of this code on Centennial? Good point, Christine. So let me show you where you can find this on Centennial. Okay, the code is available under our course shell. Let's go to content, then go to chapter 12, and this code, Christine, is right here. Chapter 12, part 803. This is it. The next one is for deployment, and the final one is including roles as well. So up to this class, you can find the code as this one here. It's all open already. This code is already all there. Okay. Siranjit, it would be good if teach us API in the cloud next semester. Yeah, I would love to do that, but there will be well qualified instructors to help you with that. I'll be teaching you a little bit of cloud today and tomorrow. Okay, so no, let's fly around together within this class and tomorrow to the clouds and see how it goes. You're gonna see that there are lots of steps here to put things on the cloud, but hey, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna do this. Not only one topic, Sanchit. Actually, next week we have one more. We have we're gonna be creating a CRUD for users to be able to create and administer users in our application. Okay, so next week we still have one new topic left next week. Okay. Okay. So again, someone was putting a private message to me early today. This is the time for that message, for that clarification. If you have questions about the project, this is the right time to ask. I'm gonna open the project here as I wait for some questions. Actually, yes, there's one question here. So let me go to the project. Let's go to assignments. So the question that I see here, what do we need to do in the project proposal? So first of all, project proposal, there is a template. Look at this, project proposal template. You open that, you download that, you put what is the feature that your group is responsible for, the section, the group number, and the names of the members. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna plan your new feature. You don't need to list here the security part, but you need to list what you're gonna be doing for the new feature. What are the views that you're gonna be creating? Tell me the name of the view. Tell me a little description about the view. Oh, I need to create a list view for listing the cuisines. Okay, so tell me the name of the view. Tell me what the view is about. You're gonna need a new model. You're gonna need to create a new model. Give me the model name. What is the model about? Why you need to, I mean, what is the model? The model is the new chef model or the new cuisine model. Tell me what it is. Oh, you need a new controller? Give me the name of the controller and tell me the description of the controller. Actually, this becomes the template of your implementation. This is the planning phase of your implementation. Oh, we have those new, a set of new actions. What are the actions that you need? Then what are the description of each action? And I'm going to review this. I'm going to provide my feedback. And hopefully I'm going to say, go forward. It's all good. Or I'm going to give you my pointers here. I'm going to say, hey, maybe you want to consider this. Maybe you want to consider that. But this is it. This is what you're going to be delivering in terms of proposal. Proposal, to be quite honest, there's no right or wrong. You either do it or you don't do it. If you do it, you're going to get your 5%. There's nothing to go wrong here in the proposal. Just describe what you're going to be doing, okay? That's it. If you have a follow-up question on this, let me know. I'm going to look at the questions here. Siranjit, thank you for the notes about the ML course. I appreciate that. More courses will come on Udemy as well. Okay, another one here. Suppose I don't need to create a new controller then. And what if while implementing the codes, we need to change something like extra view? Can we do that? Yes, you can do that afterwards. However, again, use the time to do the proposal as your planning phase. Okay, if I see there's something that is missing, I'm gonna say, hey, you may want to do this or you may want to do that, but that's okay. If you need to create, if you don't have a new controller, that's fine, but you will definitely have new actions. Maybe in existing controllers, maybe not, but again, describe that. Describe everything. There's nothing to go wrong there, and then you're gonna receive my feedback. Okay. Next one here from Siranjit. Can we change it a little bit later in the final project? That's in line with the previous question. Yes, you can change a little bit later. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. The proposal is just a chance that you can have to plan your project a little bit more formally before you go implementing, okay? Sanchit, after submitting the proposal while working, what if we have the same question here? Again, the same answer. Goes back to the same thing. If you need to change afterwards, that's fine, but try to be comprehensive on your proposal document, okay? No problem. Okay, great. Awesome. Again, the person that asked me the question, the top of the class, come on, where are you? Samira, I'm talking about you. This is the time to ask the question. This is the time for the questions. Post your question. Okay, I'm gonna chase your question back there then. I don't know if you are waiting for me to. No problem. So again, if you have your groups with people from other sections, that's okay. Remind me about that during grading time, because then I have to put their grades according to what the group got based on the peer feedback as well. Okay, so remind me about that later, because right now I cannot do anything about people in other sections. When it comes time for grading, then remind me about that. That's when I need to grade them as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to chase here a question asked by someone privately, so let's see if I can find that. Christine is asking, on our proposal, do we need to mention the existing MVC2 or just the new implementations on our web app? No, you don't need to mention things that already exist. If you are adding an action to an existing controller, keep the controller there. Just mention about the new actions that you are creating, okay? So let's see here. Okay, so Samira, I'm looking at your post there. Okay, so let me show the message to everyone. Okay, so the instance of entity type recipe cannot be tracked because another instance with the same key value for recipe is already being tracked. Yeah, okay, so when I run the application, I got an error in the seed data telling me, okay, Samira, the best way is for me to have a look at your code. I only see partial code here, so I have to see more of your codes to have a better understanding of what you have done. If you want to share your screen right now, you can. If you want to post your code to me privately on Slack, you can as well. I can have a look at it after my next class, okay? Okay, so share your... Okay. Okay, go ahead. Share it. You should now be able to share it, Samira.
Can you see my screen, Professor?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay, so can you show me? Yeah, go ahead, run it. Let's see. Okay, so there. Can you show me your model, the recipe model?
Yeah. Here. Which model do you want to see?
The recipe.
Data?
The recipe.
Recipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you scroll up? Okay. Okay. So Samira,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna do it, but again, you're gonna try it on your own. I cannot wait right now for you to try that. But when you are using database, you no longer use the static recipe number equals to 5. You don't do that anymore. Recipe ID will become your primary key, and recipe ID will be automatically created and generated by the database. So you no longer need this recipe number. No longer need that. Let the database take care of that for you. That's I don't know if this is the problem, but this is a problem. Okay, I think that with this, regenerate your migrations, your database. I think that this should solve your problem. Get rid of that recipe number as well. The next, yes, this one. Get rid of that semicolon as well. Get rid of the semicolon.
Okay, okay.
And that should take care of that.
Okay, Professor.
Yes, Siranjit, that's correct. Yeah. So I think that this should do it. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Everyone, let's see here. So Diraj, you saw how I addressed that for Samira. You should do the same thing there. Everyone, you anything else?
Professor, so I have to delete the migration folder and run it again, right?
Well, give it a try to run like this. If you still get errors, then regenerate your migrations, okay?
Okay, okay.
Perfect. So again, try on your own time, and then let me know afterwards.
Okay.
Everyone, we're gonna have 5 minutes. Once we come back, I'll take attendance, and then we move on to deployment. 5 minutes. Okay. Can you please confirm you can hear me well? Awesome. Samira, I'm glad to know that it's working fine. Janjit, send me your question via email. Send me your code as well, I'll have a look. But right now we need to move on. So again, Janjit, send me your stuff via email. I'll check it out a little later today, okay? Yes, attendance time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Siranjit. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay. If you hear your name, just say hi in the chat so I can put your attendance there. Week 10. Wow, so quick. Okay. So, Andrew, Ashik, and Asmita. Ashik's there, Asmita there as well. Asmita, are you there? Because I thought I saw you, but I'm not sure. Andrew, yes, Andrew is there, okay? Deepika, Dharmik, and Diraj. Deepika, Dharmik. Asmita, you're there. Okay, Asmita. Deepika there. Diraj there. Diraj. And Dharmik. Dharmik is there. Okay, perfect. Philippe, you're there. Gurnit. Hansel, you're there too. Gurnit, are you there? Gurnit. Harizu. Hossein, Jangjit, and Jaitan. Hossein is there. Jangjit is there. And Jaitan is there. John Avenido, Mary Christine, and Minu. Christine is there. John there. And Minu. Minu, are you around? Parinda, Prablin, and Raul. Parinda, Prablin, and Raul. Prablin. Parinder, Raul. Shakya, Ritesh, and Samira. Samira, you're there. Ritesh, are you there? Shakya, are you there? Ritesh, not sure. Sanchit, you're there. Sanjib, you're there. Alireza, Shivanj, and Siran Sahota. Siran, you're there as well. Shivanj, Siran, you're there. Shivanj, I don't see you. Siranjit, you're there. Sarab, Stephen, and Christine Thirikine. Christine is there. Stephen, are you there? And Sarab, yes, Stephen, you're there, okay. And Sarab, I don't see you. Okay. Okay, so quick note, I'm not gonna put time towards that yet today. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, but please, I send an email if you have not done the student survey yet. Please take a moment to do that. Not right now, not today. Tomorrow I'll set aside a few minutes of our class for you to do that. But if you have time today, just take care of that. I really want to make sure that, regardless of what you put there, I really want to make sure that we participate. You put your voice out there. That's the vehicle that your voice gets heard by the administration. Okay, so again, I appreciate if you have done that already. Thank you very much. If you have not, take some time either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll save some time during class time. Okay. Anyway, moving forward for our week number 10. Let's have a look at the table of contents here. What do we have there? Week number 10. We have deployments. So the presentation that I'm going to show you right now is already available on the Centennial. The links are working in the PDF. You can follow along here. This presentation, this contents, there are a lot of little steps. So I really want you to, if you want to try to follow along, you can. However, I'm not gonna be able to help you out if you get stuck. If you just want to write down notes about what you're gonna be doing, what I'm doing, write them down. Maybe don't try it right away, because you're gonna be focused on the deployment today and tomorrow. Today I'll be demonstrating. Tomorrow I'll finish the demonstration, and then you have the chance tomorrow to do your own deployments as part of your bonus number 10, and that's the last bonus that you're gonna be working with, okay? So tomorrow you're gonna be practicing what you are seeing, what you're gonna be seeing today. Today, maybe take some notes. Download the PDF, take some notes. I'm gonna show you a way that I find to be very effective of note taking. Okay, I will show that in a second. So, do we need to deploy the project as well? No, you don't need to deploy the project, Diraj. You don't. However, do you want to impress me? Do you want me to have you in the back of my mind for the future? Well, maybe you deploy. Maybe you give it a shot. Maybe you try that. Again, don't do just the minimum. Go beyond that. Not just for the grades. Not that impressing me will make too much of a difference in your career. But hey, you know what? In this career, in any career, networking means a lot. And if someone is able to have your name in the back of their heads, that they did this extra effort here, that's a plus. So if you have a chance, if you have the inclination, go beyond. Impress me. Okay? Okay. Yes. In MVC we trust. Okay. Anyway, so again, go beyond again. Go beyond for you, not for me. It's not for me. It's not about me. It's about you. You are the ones that are looking for that opportunity. So if you can have an extra edge on anything, why not? Why not? That's my point. Why not? Anyway, let's see here. And Jamshid, come on. The phrase that you mentioned there, see, everyone, what's the problem with what Jamshid just told me, just mentioned there? No. Yes. Jamshid, you made a big scene. No, I'm joking. Don't worry about that. But yes, small details. The N, the bloody N. Okay, anyway, let's get going here. Let's get moving. We have a lot to cover in the next 40 minutes, okay? So, deployments, so important, deployments. What's the point of doing anything if you cannot deploy that live, you know? What's the point? There's no point. So, deployment. Let me open the deployment presentation here. Okay, week 10. Maybe, Jengjit, maybe you missed the first day, you know, in class. Okay, so deployments. Week 10, that's the topic of the day, of the week. So today specifically, we're gonna be focusing on creating our databases on Azure and running our applications locally, but accessing the live database. So we're gonna have a two-step process here. First, we're gonna deploy the database live, and we're gonna be running our application locally, but accessing the database live. Then tomorrow, we're gonna see how we can deploy the application live as well. So we're gonna deploy databases, and then we're gonna deploy the application. 3 steps, okay? As I'm telling you, a lot of little steps here. Jayton, I'm gonna take care of the LinkedIn link there. That's a good point. I'm gonna put my social links on Solo Coder, okay? So just go to LinkedIn and put my name. You're gonna find me there. Sinojit, is it free? Yes, it's free, Sinojit. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit, okay? We'll cover that. So this content is available on chapter 12. However, because Azure moves so fast, that at times it keeps changing, okay? So I would really encourage you to focus your studies about deployments right here within this presentation, because I'll be showing you how Azure is showing things right now, today, not 2017, but 2020, okay? So, as I told you, we're gonna do this in 2 steps. First, we're gonna deploy the databases that we have, okay? Right here, close to the model. Then, as a second stage, we're gonna deploy the entire application. So, stage 1 of our deployment database, stage 2, the application, okay? There's a video here. It's a 10 minutes long, but you just need to watch 8 minutes. I'm not gonna play it right now. Play it on your own time. This is just an overview of Azure. Just keep in mind one thing, Azure is the Microsoft cloud. That's really it. It has hundreds of services. Very easy to get overwhelmed with the amount of things that we have there. However, we're gonna be focusing on very, very specific aspects of Azure for today and tomorrow, okay? So you can go through this video on your own time there. Step 1, we need to open an account. We need to have an account. So try your eCentennial account, your email address. That should give you already access. However, if you don't get access via your eCentennial email, you have the option to create a brand new email address and a brand new account there. That's what I did, because I have done this so many times. My Azure account is no longer free. So because I want a free account, so I create a new email address and I'm able to get access to Azure for the next 30 days without paying anything. You can do the same. You can do the same, okay? So I'm gonna show you this. Let's go to azure.microsoft.com. So let's go there. I'm going to open incognito mode so I don't get logged in automatically. So I'm gonna say azure.microsoft. I think it can be azure.portal.com as well. sorry, it's portal.azure.com. So this is the one that I use. I think this one goes to the same place. Let me check here. Well, it goes one step. It's the same thing. Yeah, start free. Yeah, so it redirects there. So this one is more direct, portal.azure.com. So go to this one. Use this one here. I'm going to paste that on the chat. Portal.azure.com. Now, this is where you can use your eCentennial email address. Give it a try. See how it goes. If all goes well, you don't need to create a new account. However, if something goes wrong with your Centennial email, what you can do is you can click create new one, and then here you can say get a new email address. Then you have the option to create a new email address from Outlook or from Hotmail. That's what I did to create the account that I will be using here today to demonstrate the use of Azure, okay? Quick notes about note taking. Note taking, please pay attention to this. What I recommend is, as I go along here, use the print screen on Windows or whatever OS you are using there. Print screen, capture the screen that I'm working on, open a Word document, paste it there, and type your notes. So put screenshots in your notes, screenshots your notes, so that you can quickly, after we are done here, tomorrow you're gonna do this. Tomorrow you're gonna have to repeat this. So you have the option to have your notes, have the PowerPoint, the PDF presentation, you have the videos, but you have print screens as well as you go along. So I'm gonna paste this properly so you have a chance to do print screens, to take print screens, okay? Okay, so I'm not gonna create a new account. I'm gonna go back and use my email address. Actually, let me go all the way back. So I'm gonna enter the email that I have created to do this. So here's the one. I'm gonna enter the password as well. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna say this already. When you are dealing with Azure, there are certain things like creating a database that it's a little bit slow. So there are times that you're gonna have to wait a little bit. Okay, be patient there. Keep me sign in. And here you have the Azure interface. It's telling me that I have the credit of $250. When you open a new account, you're gonna have a free trial account, okay? Free trial, and you have up to $250 to spend. This is way more than enough for what we need to do with this course. However, one recommendation is, that's good, Samira, good that the Centennial ID worked. One recommendation is, if you created a new account, they ask you to validate with your cell phone number and with a credit card. They don't charge a credit card. However, if you did enter your credit card, make sure that by the end of the course, you delete everything that you have here. Delete so that you don't get charged by accident. I don't remember. I don't know if it was one of you. No, it was not in this class. But someone from another section, actually in a previous semester, she came back to me saying that her credit card was charged by Azure because she left things open there. She was able eventually to get the money back, but again, I don't want to see you going through that. So by the end of the course, you may want to remove the resources that you have created here, so you don't risk the chance of being charged, okay? Again, keep this in mind. I don't want you to be charged for this, for anything. I don't want you to come next semester saying that, hey, Ederson, you know, I've been charged. Can you pay that for me? I'm gonna say no, I cannot, because I told you to delete at the end of the semester. Okay? Great, great. Yes, Ashik. No claim against me. Don't come chase me to pay your Azure bills. Okay? Anyway, we're gonna be using what we're gonna be using will not get you in trouble at all. Anyway, you see already here a bunch of stuff that I have already created. This is because of the last classes that I have taught. Ignore this. We're gonna be doing this as we had nothing here. In case you have a message that says take a tour on Azure, you can take a tour. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But in the end, go back and click on Microsoft Azure. Go back to the home of Azure. Okay? Go back to this view, because then from this view you can see very clearly the first option that we have to choose from here. Okay? So let's go back to the presentation here. So at this point we have our account. We are able to log into Azure. Now what? Well, let's create two databases. Our sports store, it has two databases. Okay? Products and identity. We're gonna create both of them. Remember, with Azure, be patient when you are creating things. When you are creating a new server, a new database, it takes a few minutes for the new server to show up, for the database to show up, for the new resource to show up. So be patient. Don't send me an email right away. Ederson, the database doesn't show up. Wait a few minutes. It will show up. Or it will give you an error and you're gonna be able to see that. But again, to be quite honest, I've done this a few times already this week. No errors at all. So, creating the database. Great. Look at this interface and let's use a little bit of our intuition here, because there are so many options. Let's use a little bit of the brain matter that we have there, that each one of us has. If I need to create two databases, what do you think? Where do you think we should go here? Looking at those options, where do you think we should go? SQL Server, databases. Yes, Diraj, Siranjit, let's go there. SQL Server, SQL databases. We're gonna click there. Again, it's showing a bunch here because those were my previous tests, my previous classes. That's fine, ignore them. If you don't want to see them, yeah, just ignore them. We're gonna create this from scratch here. So we are here in the SQL Server database interface. We need to create two databases. Where do I go here? Look at the options. Where do I go? Siranjit, yes, we're gonna click on add. The add button. Cannot be more intuitive than that. Okay, let's click there. Now, there are four settings that you need to put together here. Four. I'm going to explain one by one. Okay? First of all, what is a subscription? If you open your free account, you're going to have a free trial here, like I have. Keep that one selected. Okay? Then we have resource group. Resource group is just a name that you give to all the resources that you're going to be creating for your application. You're going to have a database server, you're going to have a database, you're going to have an application. So all of them, it's interesting, it's ideal to organize them inside the same resource group. You can think of a resource group as a way to categorize your, resources. Under this category, they are all related. These databases are related, those applications are related, and I have them all under this category here. I have some already. I'm going to create another one for our section here. I'm going to create one that says, you're going to create one, again, you create with the name that you want, whatever you want there. There's no restriction here. I'm going to say that this is M20 sec003. This is just a simple name that I'm creating, so I know that those resources are related to this class. That's it. I'm gonna click OK, and it shows up there like new. Okay, so this is done. Subscription, resource group. Now what? We have database. This is the name of our database. Products. Products is the name. Okay? And then we have server. Server, I have a few servers already here, but for the other tests that I have done, for the other sections, I'm going to create a new server for our section. You're going to create your own new server. In your case, you just need one server for both databases. So you're going to have one SQL server for both databases under that server. Okay? Two databases under the same server. In which zone? Okay, let's hold on that, Siranjit. If we're gonna create an East US, but again, give me a second. We will talk about that in a second. Click and create new. I'm gonna call this M20 sec003. This is the server name. Server name must be unique across the entire Azure. This name cannot repeat itself. Okay? So it has to be something very unique. I'm gonna keep this name here. Please, if you are rushing and creating your own, don't create with this name, because otherwise I'll get an error here, because you're gonna create before I create, you know. So again, let me have this name. So you're gonna keep a record of this. Keep track of this name. I'm gonna give this name, again, give whatever name you want. I'm gonna give this name. Please don't take my name. And then I'm gonna copy this name as well here underneath, because the address of the server is everything together here. So look, this is the entire address of the new server that you are creating to host both databases. Okay? Then we add the login. We have the login. So login, I think login does not have to be unique. I'm gonna say sec003. And then I'm gonna say the password is this one here. Password and password. Okay, I have that already saved as well. Again, write down the server name, the admin login, and the password that you're creating, okay? Location, this is not about time zone. This is nothing to do with time. This is about how close this data center is to your application, to your users, you know? So, to be quite honest, this is not super relevant for us. Keep it like this. Keep it US, East, US, that's fine. There is a Canadian one here as well. But, again, to be quite honest, it doesn't matter for us. You can just, that's about latency as well. Yes, Diraj, the closer you are to your users, the better. That's really it, okay? But to be quite honest, I'm gonna leave this as East US. You should be fine with that as well. With all of that done, again, write down server name, write down login and password. You're gonna need that later. Let's click just in OK. It shows here as new. The server has not been created yet. Don't worry about Elastic Pool. Leave it no. Compute storage, leave it like this. That's fine. It's standard 0. You're not going to be paying anything. It's the free plan. And then you're going to click on Review plus Create. Review plus Create. Okay? That's it. Let's click there. You're just going to review the stuff here. It shows estimated cost per month, 19 bucks. Again, you are in your free trial. You have 260 bucks to spend within 30 days. You're more than well covered here. With all of this done, we're just going to hit create. Any questions before I hit create here? Okay, so here I go. Create. Now it's when you have to have a little bit of patience because it's gonna create the new server and the new database. So it tells you your deployment is underway. You don't need to wait here. You don't have to wait. You can move forward. See, look at this. The server is already getting created. See? I don't have a lot of experience with AWS, Philippe, but Microsoft in general, stuff from Microsoft is usually very user-friendly. I would say that from the three, my impression from the three big clouds is that Google is the cheapest one, but is the least user-friendly. Then we have Amazon AWS there, which is more expensive than Google in general, but more friendly than Google. And I think that Microsoft is the most expensive one, but is the most friendly one. Okay, so again, that's my take. People have different opinions about that. That's my opinion. That's it. I rest my case. Anyway, you don't have to wait here. IAC. I have no idea what IAC is, but I'm sure that you're gonna tell me, Diraj, what IAC is. Oh, infrastructure as a code. Yes, there are so many acronyms that I don't. But yeah, okay, Diraj. Again, I get it. So again. Different people with different opinions. I see a lot of people using Google Cloud, to be quite honest. Anyway, let's move forward here. Let's take to the points. Go back to home, then go back to SQL databases. Now, let's filter things out here. Let's filter by groups. I'm just going to show our own group here of resources. Let's see. Nothing created yet. So the database is still getting created. However, for me to create the next one, I need the identity one. I can create it right away. I don't have to wait for the product to show up here. By the time that you get done with the identity database, this will show up most likely the product one. Okay, so I'm going to click on add again, new database, free trial, resource group. Now I can just select because it's created already. Database name, I'm going to call this identity. Server, look, we have our new server here. You're going to have yours as well. I'm going to hit create, review, and create. I'm creating the second database. I'm just going to hit create. It's initializing. I don't need to wait. I can go back to home. I can go to SQL databases. I can filter the resource. And now look, I have product already here. In a second, in a minute, we're gonna have identity as well. Okay, you can just click refresh. It will come up eventually here. Okay, great, great, great. What's next? While we wait for that to come up, we're gonna have a look. We're gonna have a look at this. No, Siranjit is asking, do we also need to create a virtual machine to deploy our application? No, you don't need. You don't need a virtual machine, you just need to deploy it. There are application services available without having a virtual machine. You don't need a virtual machine for that, okay? Sanchit, Microsoft charges for whatever is under the resource. It's not about the resource is just a way to group things. But now Microsoft is charging here for the server and for the database, okay? Samira, I have to enter our information to work with Azure. Yes. Microsoft sheets. I mean, 1920 for products and 1920 for identity. Oh, I see. I see. Yes, I'm quite sure that it is for each one. I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure it is for each one. Yes, but that's an estimated course. It's just estimation, you know. It can be less than that, more than that. Okay, so let's refresh this. Yeah, so now you can see both of them. Look, both of them are here. Am I supposed to delete accounts afterwards so I'm not charged? Probably that's what I've been saying. Before the end of the course, delete the resources. Go back. You can go back in one shot. Go back to the home, resource groups. You can select your resource and just click. Where's delete here? Image view. Oh, right here, I think. Let's see. Nope. Where's the resource here? Okay, so let me open this. Delete resource group, you see? When you click delete the resource group, it's gonna delete everything underneath that group, including the databases and the server, okay? Okay, so Diraj, are we going to use Azure website to deploy code? Yes, Diraj, we're gonna be using that, and we're gonna be doing that tomorrow, okay? So let's go back here to the databases where we were before. I just want to see our databases. And now we're gonna go back to the presentation to see what's next. Let the presentation guide you. We have created both databases, okay? Oh, this is an important one. We have to open firewall. Look, now we have one server, two databases. The server comes with a firewall. A firewall is supposed to block invaders, people trying to get into our server that are not authorized. But because of this firewall, we have to open the firewall to our own IP address. Because otherwise, when we try to create the tables from Visual Studio in Azure, in our database, we won't be able to, because even our IP address is blocked as well. So we have to open the server firewall to our IP address. How do we do that? Very simple. Look, we have the two databases here, one server. I can open any one of the databases, let's say the first one, the second one, the product one, the first one we created, and then look at this option here, set server firewall. I'm gonna circle that. Look at this option. You're gonna click that option. The set server firewall, it's the same for both databases because it's in the server level, okay? So this is common for both databases because both of them are in the same server, okay? So we're gonna click there and we're gonna open the firewall to our IP address. Again, take screenshots of those things, everyone, so you know where you have to go each step of the way, okay? Okay, so set server firewall. From here, there are two things we need to do. The first one, you're gonna click on add client IP. Client is my computer. Look at here, it shows client IP. This IP address is my IP. If you are looking at this, this will be your IP address. So when I say add client IP, I'm gonna ask Azure to add my IP to the authorized IP addresses of the firewall. So I'm gonna click there. When I click it, it's gonna add a new row here to this table. Look at this. You see here? This is my IP. I'm opening my computer to be able to access the databases. That's one. The second option that you have to turn on here is this one. Allow Azure services and resources to access this server. Because very soon we're going to have our application deployed live to Azure as well. And that application needs to be able to connect to the database too. So we're going to turn this on as well. So two things. The IP address by clicking Add Client IP and allow Azure services and resources to access the server. Turn this on as well. Both of them, two options. I'll give you a second to take a screen capture of this. Okay? With this done, I'm gonna save. And we're done. We can go back there. Okay? Great. Let's move forward here. So now that we have allowed the firewall to access our IP to access the firewall, to access the server via the firewall, through the firewall, we now need to copy the connection strings to both databases. Okay? So remember, connection string is used so the application knows where the database is. So how do we get there? Well, you have to do this for each database. I'm gonna click on products database. I'm gonna go to show database connection strings here. Look, I need this entire text here. I'm gonna select all of them, all of it, right click and copy. Okay? I'm gonna paste that in a text editor here, just for testing, just to keep a record of that. Keep it in the same line. My editor here is breaking the lines, but I can just keep it in the same line. This is the products. Products. And I'm gonna have one for identity. Look here. I have the server name, the database name, I have the username, and look, in the password area, I need to remove your password to the real password. Now, do this including the curly braces as well. You have to delete everything here, including the curly braces. The curly braces need to be removed as well. And we have to put here the user passwords that we have created. Okay? So I'm gonna put the user password here. Right there. I'm gonna get the same connection string for the identity database. So I'm gonna go back to the identity database. Well, it's already jumping there. So if I go back there, overview, show database connection strings, I'm gonna copy the one for the identity database. Copy that, paste it here, and I'm gonna replace the password. Again, password does not include the semicolon. You need to keep the semicolon there. You need to get rid of the entire your password, including the curly braces too. Delete them, put the password there. Okay? With this done, we are now ready to adjust our application. We have the server name, we have the username, the passwords, in both databases. Okay, we have all the ingredients necessary. So now we can go back to our code, and I'm gonna open our code there. The code that you can use here is the one that is already uploaded there. You can use files, chapter 12. You can download this one here. Again, the same one as I mentioned before. Download this one and use this one to get your deployment done. So I'm gonna open that. Now let's try to connect to our new database. What I'm about to show, again, very important that you keep some screenshots there. Make your notes. You're gonna have to repeat this if you want to get your bonus number 10 tomorrow. So go to View, SQL Server Object Explorer. We're just gonna connect to the database, to the live database. I have something here already. I'm gonna remove this. Don't worry about that. This is again from the previous class. I'm gonna go to SQL Server. I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna say Add SQL Server. A pop-up comes up. Under server name, I'm gonna add this. This is the server name, the entire address here. Server name is that. Authentication. We're gonna use SQL Server authentication. Username. Well, I have it here. Passwords. I have it here as well. Mark. Check remember password, so you don't have to keep entering that over and over again. But don't select database. Leave this empty, okay? Because you're gonna be able to see both databases at the same time. So leave this empty. Click connect. So again, server name, authentication SQL Server, username, and password. And then click connect. Look, we were able to connect. You see the little database icon with the cloud here. Look at databases. You see both of them are there. We can expand both of them. It takes a little bit of time to load the details of the database, but right now, our database, they don't have the tables yet, okay? So we're gonna have to create our tables in those two databases, okay? Yes, Anshit, the connection was fast initially, okay? Actually, to retrieve data is fast as well. However, when you are expanding the tables, it's usually a little bit more, it takes a little bit longer when you're expanding them, as you're gonna see in a second, but that's okay. The data comes very fast, and as you can see, the connection was quite good here as well. Okay, while it tries to load there, we have to set up our application to connect to the live databases. So where is it that we can find the connection strings of our databases? Where do we find them in our application? Where? In the app settings. Okay? But look at this. I don't have to change those settings here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new set of settings for production. I'm gonna have the development connection strings, and I'm gonna have the production connection strings. I'm gonna have two app settings. Okay? I'm gonna create another app settings called app settings dot production. Write this, app settings dot production dot JSON. This is it. I'm gonna copy this name. I'm going to right click on my project. I'm gonna go to add new item. Here I can go to general JSON file. I'm going to replace the name. Again, the name has to be precise. Please pay attention to misspellings. App settings dot production dot JSON has to be spelled out just like that. Click on add. You may find it becomes connected to the previous one. Go to the original one, copy this one, copy the whole thing, go to the new one, paste there, paste. By the way, use copy and paste for this. Don't try to type anything. Copy and paste. Okay? Copy and paste. So, right now we have the same on both, but we need to change, of course, the connection string. In the production one, we're gonna change both of them, and we're gonna put the connection strings that we have saved. I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna paste the first one, I'm gonna copy the second one. I'm gonna paste the second one. And there we go. We have the settings of our live application, of our live database. Okay? Now, what is the commands that we run to be able to create the tables in our database? What is the command? What is the command that we run on the package manager? Tools, NuGet package manager console. What is the command that we run here to create the databases? Sorry. Well, yeah, to create database, but database are already created. To run the update scripts that will create the tables. That update database, that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna run update database, but here's the thing. Because we are not updating the local one is already updated. We are updating the live ones, the production ones. So we need to change something here in the package manager that is gonna say, okay, don't use the connection string in the app settings, use the new one. For that to happen, I'm gonna use a very strange line of code here, a command line, and you should make a note of this. I'm gonna post this on the chat. Look in the chat. Copy this, keep this as a record there for you. I'm gonna run that so that we are setting the environment variable to production. This name has to match the name that is found right here. By doing this, when we run the update database will not run locally, but it will run in the connection string of the database on Azure. So I'm gonna run this one. Now I'm gonna run the updates. I'm gonna run the update for the first database. The first one, update database dash context, application DB context. This is for the product. So I'm gonna run this. And the build failed. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Try again. Okay, so if you see something like this, try to recompile your project. There might be a problem here. Let's see. Rebuild solution. Rebuild successfully. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so I just needed to recompile my application and it worked fine. So you see, no errors right now. Now, if I expand again products, if I refresh, look at this. Tables, it's loading. It's gonna come up in a second. While we wait for that, for the tables to come up, let's run the second one. So the second one updates context app identity. Oh, look, we have products, we have orders, we have cart line. The tables are there now. Let's run the second one. App identity context. Yeah, here are the tables. Some sheets, those are the tables. If I expand here, columns, it's gonna load here. In the portal, to be quite honest, Sunshit, I don't know if there is an interface there on Azure to see that there, you know? I don't know if there is. I really don't. Usually you do that via SQL Server Management Studio or via an interface like this, you know? There must be something there, but I just have no idea. Where is this there? Okay, so in the identity one, let's refresh this. Look, we already see some tables there. Refresh this. Refresh table. Look, the table is already there. There must be Siranjit. There must be something there, but again, to be quite honest, it's not our focus right now. We can see the whole thing right here. Okay? As it tries to load here, let's keep going forward here. We have one more step to do. Right now, if we run this application, it's still connecting to our local database. However, to make this connect, to make the application connect to the live database, we have to do this. We have to go to the project, right click, go to properties, go to debug. Under debug, there's also this environment variable here. When the application is running, we have to change this from development to production. Again, spelling. Pay attention to spelling, people. Please. Production. With this, if I run the application now, the database that's going to be connecting is the live one. I'm going to prove that to you. Let it run. It's taking a while for the first time because it's populating some of the data, but look, this data is not in my local system, it's in Azure. I'm going to prove that to you. If you are doubting that, I'm sure that there's doubters there. People that are thinking that I'm tricking you. No, I'm not tricking you. Let me show you this. View SQL Explorer. Okay, look, we have products here. This is the Azure one. I'm going to go right click, products. I'm going to view the data there. It's going to load here. See, some things take a little bit of time. Usually when you are inside Visual Studio, the data will come up in a second. Come on. I need to have my lunch before the next class. And I want to prove that to you. Okay, now we can take a nap, maybe. It's taking longer than usual. Usually this is a little bit faster. Maybe my computer is the problem here. Yeah, but we never know, you know, sometimes this not responding is there, but still. Thank you, Ashik. Let me stop here. Let me stop it here. Well, I think that things are frozen here. Let me quit the application. Yikes. Okay. Something was going on there. I'm gonna try to load this again. I never tried that to increase priority, Sanchit. I never tried that. Okay, so let's give this another try here. Let's expand databases. Well, now it's not even connecting anymore. The hell is happening here? Oh, this is the one that was there before. Sorry about that. So let me disconnect. I'm gonna have to reconnect here. Okay. Okay, so connected here. I'm gonna expand. Database. Products. I'm gonna try that since it's to increase priority. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna right click products, view data. Let's see if the data shows up now. So that's the trick to make Android Studio work. Is that it? Okay, so we have data. Woohoo, we have data. So let me run the application as well. Okay, so you see kayak 275. I'm gonna change here the data, kayak boat. This is the data in the database and 480, let's say 480. I'm gonna refresh this and voila, we have kayak boats and we have 480. So the data is now coming from Azure, hence proved, yes. Azure now connected. Tomorrow we're gonna carry on right where we stopped here, but now we're gonna be deploying the entire application. Write down your notes, write down your questions. Tomorrow we will address them as we go through this, okay? Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Siranjit. Have a good rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow at 2:30, okay? Bye now. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.